So the July jobs report just came out, and to put it bluntly, it was bad. Like, we're not just talking about missing the forecast, we're talking about a complete miss and some seriously inflated numbers from previous months that are getting corrected in a big way. So let's start here. The government originally said that we added 144,000 jobs in May, but nope, that number was just 14,000 jobs. The same thing with June, they said we added 147,000, but the actual number was just 14,000 jobs. That's a combined overcount of over 258,000 jobs. Completely misrepresented. That is insane. And now for July, they said we added 73,000 jobs. Economics were expecting at least 110 to 140, so this is significantly under. But I'm willing to bet that that number also gets revised down too, maybe even into the negatives. The pattern here is obvious. The labor market is slipping, and it's happening fast. Unemployment also ticked up from 4.1% to 4.2% in July, and that might not seem huge, but it's a part of the broader trend. Unemployment has been steadily rising since 2023. Wages are also slowing down. Growth came in at 3.9% year over year in July, and that's part of a decline that's been going on since 2022. Now, when we look at which industry actually added jobs, education and health services were the winners, adding over 79,000 positions. But manufacturing took a hit. 11,000 jobs lost this month. That's a big deal, especially when you consider the whole idea behind tariffs was supposed to be to revitalize the American manufacturing system. And if this is the revival, then we've got a long way to go, probably years of losses before anything turns around. Now, let's zoom in on the federal government jobs. In July alone, the number of federal workers dropped by 12,000, and since the start of the year, we've lost around 84,000 federal positions overall. Now that sounds dramatic, and it is, but for some context, there's about 3 million overall civilian government workers in total. Still, those cuts are significant. Now let's talk about layoffs. A new Challenger report dropped on July 31st, and it highlighted just how many job cuts we've seen so far this year in 2025. The government sector has seen the most job losses at around 292,000. The tech industry, 89,000 layoffs, which is a 36% increase over the last year. So why so many layoffs? In the public sector, the main reason is Doge, not the cryptocurrency, the policy. Across all sectors, employers are citing the weak economy, inflation, and a general uncertainty as the biggest reason for the cuts. Over 171,000 jobs lost for those reasons alone. Closures and bankruptcies have also caused another 120,000 layoffs. And let's not forget the tech automation and AI, because those advances have cost over 20,000 jobs so far this year. But regionally, the pain isn't spread evenly. The East Coast has taken the biggest hit. Job cuts are up 219% compared to last year, mostly due to federal downsizing. In the Midwest, job losses are up about 8.7%, and the West saw an 11% increase. The South, layoffs are up 34% year over year. Now, let's talk about what this means for interest rates. So right before the jobs report came out, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said he was keeping a close eye on the unemployment rate, because that's one of the biggest factors in deciding whether or not he was going to cut rates in September. Well, after this report, the probability of him cutting rates in September skyrocketed, jumping from 41.3% to 82.8%. The weak job numbers in May, June, and now July, along with rising unemployment, have forced the Fed's hand. This is part of their dual mandate. They're supposed to maintain stable prices with maximum employment. And right now, the labor market is not looking so hot. So where does all this leave us? If the Fed does decide to go ahead and cut rates at its next meeting in September, it probably won't stop there. We could be looking at another round of quantitative easing not long after, which basically means more money printing. So that's the breakdown of the latest labor market data and what it means going forward. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are we headed into deeper trouble, or is this just a bump in the road? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.